Here we are making homemade tempeh. Taking about 300 grams of soya beans and we're rinsing off with clean water. Just keep doing this process until there's no more foam and the water looks fairly clean. I'm going to soak this for 12 hours or overnight. The next day we're going to pop in a pot and boil for around 30 minutes and rinse off with clean water. Next step is to remove the hulls. You can do this by squeezing them with your hands or crushing them with a mortar and pestle. Once the hulls are removed, we're going to pop in a pot for a second boil. This is where we add the apple cider vinegar. This is going to make the beans nice and acidic to help grow the mould. After about 30 minutes, we're going to take them out when they're all hot and steamy and place them on a towel to dry. They're so pretty. Make Tempeh is then sprinkled onto the dried beans. You can get this from most health food shops online. I was lucky enough to get about 6 kilos when I visited Indonesia last year. So I have a good stock in the freezer. Here I'm making sure that all the beans are coated with the Make Tempeh. I think some stores call it tempeh starter. And you're going to want to try and find somewhere that sells it bulk. I pop my beans into these bags, which I've perforated with a toothpick. You need air to be able to get to the beans during the growing process. I seal the bags and then I'm going to place them in my sunbeam dehydrator at 35 degrees for around 15 hours. This is the next morning, 14 hours after we put our tempeh in the dehydrator. Now remembering, we're not dehydrating the beans at all. The bag keeps enough of the moisture in. It's just keeping an even temperature of around 30 to 35 degrees. At this point I have turned off the dehydrator as the thermometer is showing that the beans are now generating their own heat. I'm really happy with this result. The tempeh is firm, the mould is nice and fresh and white. We don't have any black spores on here, which would indicate that the life cycle of the mould is getting near the end. And here's the finished result. We've got enough here to put in the fridge and enough to cut up for breakfast. In fact, I took these photos after I'd had breakfast because I just couldn't wait to eat it. Stir fried in some tempeh with some sambal and some fresh greens from the garden. So good.